This is the Hyundai Tucson. Basically the third generation in South Africa, although the middle one was termed the iX35 instead, but it is very much the same vehicle. Family-sized medium SUV. And the version we've got on test here being the 1.6 turbo. And that is engine and transmission from the Veloster Turbo, basically, being the 7-speed dual clutch transmission automatic, as well as that 1.6 litre turbo engine, putting out 130 kilowatts in this version and 265 newton meters of torque. So you've got some very nice torque involved in this turbo engined vehicle. Boot, as you can see over here, 296 litre boot as standard, with a very useful net at the bottom there as well. Of course, you can drop the rear seats 2/3, 1/3, and that gives you lots of loading space for carrying big items and lots of luggage. But a nice 5-seater family SUV, very neat, very nice size, not compact but a good size vehicle. And you can see, being the turbo version, those two mean looking exhausts at the back over there, telling you it does mean business. Behind the wheel of the Tucson, it's a comfortable place, and what is impressive about this new version is it looks and feels upmarket. The leather trim that comes as standard on the top model, and you can see even the fascia and the dash looks classy and a good feel to it. You come to, of course, the multifunction steering wheel as standard, and then looking in the center at the computer system and the trip computer that you have, you can see that I have averaged, and we've done a lot of mileage in this car. We've done 544 kilometers in the vehicle and averaged 9.2 liters per 100. And what is important about this is to tell you that that 9.2 liters per 100 has involved a lot of heavy traffic commuting and driving in very heavy Johannesburg traffic. The Hyundai figure is 8.6 liters per 100, the official figure. So I think the 9.2, 9.3 is a very nice, accurate figure on it. Besides that, you come to the center over here on the dash, and this is something I have to comment on Hyundai again. The infotainment screen certainly needs upgrading. This is a generation behind. Apparently you can upgrade to a locally fitted infotainment screen with navigation at an extra approximately 20,000 Rand. But on a vehicle of this type, I think this should be a standard. And it's my real one big complaint about this vehicle, that Hyundai need to come to the party to get this one up to standard. You come down, you have your dual zone climate control over here system, which is becoming a standard in vehicles of this type, but nice to have, works very effectively. And then down, I mentioned the 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. And over here is a button that says drive mode. And that is the smack naughty button, I would like to call it, because at a press the button, it brings it up and you'll see on the dashboard, and it tells you you're in sport mode. Just one press of the button, you have the alternate between standard and sport. What that does is it changes your transmission, changes your shift points on your gearing, holds it in gear a little bit longer, and certainly gives a nice throaty sound to the exhaust as well. Interesting, because is this a sports SUV? I can see how it works in the Veloster Turbo, but in the Tucson, well, fun, because maybe it's not just mom's taxi anymore. That way it brings it really in for dad as well. You do have a hill descent control over here as well, just below the drive mode button, and you do have a center diff lock for the 4-wheel drive system, because this is the top of the range all-wheel drive version of the Tucson. Very neat center console and very neatly done here as well. You've got all of those. Let's check out what it's like in the back of the car. Moving into the back seat of the Tucson, nice space. I've got the driver's seat as always set for myself, and the driver's seat does have electric adjustment, so you can certainly get a comfortable driving position. Set for myself, I believe this is plenty of legroom, lots of headroom as well with my hat on, and certainly can be comfortable for 3 in the back, so it's a nice family SUV in that sense. This top of the range version also has as standard the nice big panoramic roof, which is interesting in 2 parts, because it has the blind which opens all the way, and the roof itself opens the front half. So you have the sunroof or the panoramic roof. I like the panoramic roof effect for making the interior of the vehicle light and bright at all times. Other features on particularly the top of the range version of the Tucson, being the turbo with all-wheel drive, is the safety of the all-wheel drive system, that road holding and the effectiveness. I'm not saying this is an off-road vehicle, but certainly the additional safety of an all-wheel drive I think is very important. You also have lots of extra safety features built into this vehicle. You have uprated headlights with an adaptive function to them that show slightly to the side when you're turning, etc. Really nice feature. You also have lane departure warning system, which shows in your rear view mirrors, your side mirrors, and you are warned when vehicles are approaching from the sides. And it even has a cross traffic warning system at the rear if you're reversing out of a parking bay. So it's got all that latest technology in the vehicle as well. Good to have, and certainly makes for a safer vehicle for the family. What does Hyundai offer you at the price for this top-of-the-range model of 519,900 Rand? Keeping in mind that the Tucson range starts with a 2-litre petrol engine at approximately 370,000, but obviously you go up through the range, and with this turbo engine as well, 520, I'm rounding it off for this particular version. You get all the safety spec I just mentioned. You also get Hyundai's market-leading 7-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty, and you get a 5-year, 90,000 kilometer service plan, all included in your purchase price. Top spec, luxury, 7-speed dual clutch transmission, all of those at the price. There are lots of competitors in this market segment, and they do bear looking at, but the popularity of the previous generation Tucson and iX35 speak for themselves and say that these vehicles have been incredibly well received in our market. If you're looking for a medium-sized family SUV, you have to go and look at the Tucson. You certainly owe it to yourself before you make your final purchasing decision. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R. See you next time.